broadcast is brought to you by COPA. Comprehensive, objective performance assessment with elite coaching staff are dedicated to the analysis of each athlete from every angle to improve cognitive, physical, and technical abilities. Welcome one and all to this USL Championship broadcast on ESPN Plus between the Oakland Roots and New York Red Bulls 2. The first time these two teams have ever met in a soccer setting. My name is Mark Schoenster. Alongside me, Jose Rodriguez. Jose, pretty exciting one here today. As you see the standings on the eastern side of things, New York Red Bulls, bottom of the table, eliminated from contention, but it's a great chance to play spoiler.
Absolutely, and it's a great opportunity for them to get better. You're facing a team in Oakland Roots that's fighting for a playoff spot. That is a challenge because you need to match that energy, that intensity, and you need to realize that mentally you have to stay within the game. For young guys, that's big.
Absolutely. As we pivot over to the Western Conference standings, Oakland, it's a different story. They're right in the thick of it.
Yes, absolutely. Listen, what a race. 36 points for Los Dos, 36 points for RGV. It's going to get really interesting, but it all starts for Oakland Roots against New York Red Bulls 2. They have to concentrate, get the 3 points, and then see what happens.
Handle the business at home, then think about everything else. Well, last week, they had a lot to think about, but first things first, 3 points were important, and they got it on the road at Phoenix.
Well, at this point in the season, it doesn't really matter whether you're at home or on the road. If you're Oakland Roots, you have to go for 3 points. And Lindo Nfeka was able to deliver a huge momentum builder, a huge result against a team that is also fighting for a playoff spot. And man, what a beauty of a goal that was.
Emotions, intensity, they were able to make it happen on the road at Wild Horse Pass. And after that performance, he's obviously our Ale Industries player to watch.
Well, Nfeka, a player that can be very effective on the wing, on the right side. That's where he usually plays. But he's also very good in the build-up through the middle. So he can help you in several ways. We'll see what he's able to do here at home. This should be a very important challenge for him.
Meanwhile, on the other side of things, a very dangerous player, Jordan Adebayo-Smith. He's just lethal, especially in those counter moments.
Well, and he's able to capitalize on mistakes. So defensively, you have to stay solid. You have to keep the concentration, even if there are not a lot of opportunities for New York Red Bulls tonight. Jordan Adebayo-Smith is a player that can very easily score on you.
You see there, 6 goals, 3 assists this season. As we wrap things up here for our quick break. When we come back, we'll have the lineups and then the opening kickoff here. It's Red Bulls 2 and the Oakland Roots on ESPN Plus. We'll see you on the other side.
We are driven by a purpose to build healthy communities where everyone deserves a shot at fulfilling their dreams. A place where inclusion, acceptance, and equal opportunity are the norm. A town where all people have access to nutritious food, healthy lifestyles, and quality healthcare. Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots are breaking down barriers to ensure people stay nourished of the mind, body, and soul, all while having every opportunity to succeed. We welcome Oakland Soul to the town. Together, we will make the East Bay better for everyone.
I'm really excited to be a part of EBCE because of all the opportunities it'll offer me to save money.
I was surprised to find out that I could actually have a choice about where my energy comes from.
Thanks to EBCE, our kids are going to have a clean planet to live on when they're older.
I need the power to work in my studio. Of course, I'd love to be able to use more renewable energy.
We now have choices, and I'm happy to choose East Bay Community Energy as my source for local clean power.
I need to try it first.
Tonight's USL Championship match is presented in part by Anthem Blue Cross. User testing, Credit Karma, UCSF Health, Coca-Cola, and Modelo. Starting lineups brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. First off, the Oakland Roots.
Initially a 4-3-2-1, but this could very easily become a 3-4-3 with Mayor, Barber, and Morad in the back. Obviously very important at the top. Carlson, Formilla, what they can do together, helping in the build is Dennis, and on the right side, Nfeka.
As we pivot over to the Red Bull side of things, also brought to you by Anthem.
Young team, obviously eager to get the opportunity to compete against Oakland tonight. 4-5-1 formation, concentrating on the middle of the field. They want to keep possession. They want to stay solid defensively.
As we pivot over to kickoff. Kickoff presented by User Testing, real-time feedback from real customers. Wherever you work, visit usertesting.com to learn more. Our head official for tonight's match is Melvin Rivas. Red Bulls be going right to left, Oakland left to right here at Laney College. And it'll be Otar Carlson to get things going here for the Roots. As action takes place here, it's the Oakland Roots and Red Bulls 2. One side, right in the heat of the playoff race in the Western Conference. New York Red Bulls 2. Although not in the playoff race, love to have the chance to play an intense environment on the road.
Yeah, they won't be in the playoffs, but this is what the playoffs looks like for them in 2022.
Yeah.
Right? You got to play spoiler. You play a team with a lot of intensity at home, like Oakland Roots. So, you know, without a doubt, I think tonight we have here a playoff atmosphere.
Nosita getting some pressure, just able to get it away. Orsino's fallen over. Infeka just absolutely patronizing them. Now Rito plays it across, and the deflected effort will bounce out harmlessly for a goal kick. Injury report brought to you by UCSF Health and UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals. Worth noting, as far as questionables concerned for New York Red Bulls, Ofori and Alexandre, both on the bench, so they're on the right side of the questionable call.
Yeah, and for Oakland Roots, you know, important players out in Clementa, obviously a center back, very reliable throughout the season for the coaching staff here in Oakland, and Mati Fisori as well in the middle. Very important player, usually comes in the second half, questionable for tonight.
Now look to try to build it up the pitch, but it doesn't take long for them to lose possession. Now it's Otar Carlson who gets tripped up and will draw the foul. We touched base a little bit on that Phoenix victory last weekend, 2-0 on the road. Talking to Noah Delgado about it. You knew that they had a lot of other emotions going into that game, even if, of course, what's most important is to get 3 points. And he mentioned you could tell they were honed in all week, and it only intensified as the match got closer. And they said that, well, they came flying out of the gate and scored 2 quality goals.
Yeah, and listen, I think there's another aspect to that game that's very important. You know, it's the mental side of the game, because within the game, you know, they had an early penalty call that didn't go their way. It was a penalty. The foul was inside the box. The referee didn't call it, but still, they were level-headed and they continued to play. Late in the second half as well, James Musa was deserving of a second yellow card, and even before the straight red, according to a lot of people, and that didn't go their way. And still, they were level-headed again, and they were able to get the result.
A lot of mental fortitude displayed as they now here have a chance on the attack. Here's a shot sliding towards goal, and it falls into the possession of Nico Politis.
Well, a great start here for Oakland offensively. They pushed the ball earlier through the right side. They move now through the left. That's exactly what you want to do. You know, right now for New York Red Bulls too, it's about keeping some of the consistency defensively. And if you move the ball as quickly as they have been able to do, that's a tough challenge for a young team.
Nico Politis, just 21 years old, going up against some relatively grizzled vets in comparison to what he's facing in training all the time. Infeka with the turn. Infeka tries to shoot. Doesn't put a lot of juice behind it, though.
A lot of intensity early on, a lot of energy from Oakland Roots. Maybe, you know, you need to take a little bit of an extra pass in the finishing third. That's exactly the one thing that they might be lacking right now to finish up the play and score an early goal.
It's the first time these two clubs have ever met in their history. It's one of 9 clubs that Red Bulls 2 face or will face this season for the first time, of course, with the USL Championship. Expanding upon these Eastern-Western matchups, get to see a lot of new, enticing jersey combinations on the pitch throughout the season.
Yeah, it's incredible, right? The effect of the pandemic still, that 2020 season, even the 2021, with some of the restrictions, that prevented us from watching some of the matchups that we're enjoying late in the season here.
Vito's able to get that one away. Jose Hernandez, the one was on the ball then. And they'll work it up the left-hand side. That one pinged away for an Oakland throw. Of course, a lot of other games on tonight that have implications in the standings for the Oakland Roots. We'll try and keep you up to date on anything going on in those games. As this ball bounces through, Otar Carlson lays it off. Still turning about. That's Azakar. And he'll have to take it back. Withdraw for a moment. Only to reload and try again. Rito can't get it past Nicopolidis. Some pokes and prods, but couldn't break through. Yost and Salinas, a little slow to get up, but after some assistance, looks like he's doing all right. We'll be talking to our head official, Melvin Rivas. Playing his issues, but perhaps raising his awareness for actions in the future. Good packed crowd here at Laney as they celebrate their Hispanic Heritage Night. They're focusing on celebrating their roots and heritage, of course.
Yes, absolutely. Las raíces in Spanish. The roots. You know, there's such a great movement now throughout the country when it comes to Hispanic heritage, and it's something that I really enjoy. And especially here in Oakland, that connection with the Hispanic community. It's just great.
Talk about someone who's great. Lindo Mfeka plays it to Rito. And then his effort may have been deflected. And it will go out for a corner kick.
Well, anytime Rito is involved, it's good news for Oakland. And this is a beautiful ball on the right side. Mfeka with just a slight touch to keep the ball in play. And then the give and go works this time. Good coverage. You have to give a lot of credit as well defensively. That time to Matthew Nocita.
Low driven service pinged around. Nearly swung on from the far post. Now it'll go out for a goal kick. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice. So Oakland coming out the gate, very honed in and aggressive. We're talking to Noah Delgado this week. I asked about emotional fallout from that last game, and he said, you'd worry about it, but they've been pretty focused. And here's Mfeka. Into the 18 he goes. He tries to curl the shot, but it goes straight to the keeper. Trying to bend it around him towards the left post.
Yeah, great opportunity here, winning the 50-50 ball in the middle and immediately looking for outlets. Dennis is able to find Mfeka on the right side, Rito right next to him. But I think he makes the right decision to take the shot and goal here. Maybe he needed to position the ball a little bit better, but you know, it's the right idea, the right intensity that's working for Oakland.
On the other end, here's New York. Felipe will give it back. Castellano. Now Oakland's back. All the jerseys are in their proper spots. Rosinos. He'll cut inside. Threads it forward. It gets right back to him. He could shoot. Opts not to. And then he'll ping around a couple of times. And just kept in play, preventing the corner kick. It's our first look at Paul Blanchette today.
A good combination that time from Red Bulls too. Just couldn't find enough room to take the shot on goal at the time. The confidence was not there. So just a quick reminder that you still, even with enjoying a lot of possession and creating chances offensively, you still need to pay attention to what you need to do defensively. This is a team that is very young but can be very aggressive. They can run around for a full 90 minutes. Look for counterattack opportunities as well for the visiting side.
The players know we can't afford a day off. That's what Noah Delgado was saying. It's crunch time. Got to find results, especially when you're at home. There's Charlie Dennis on the ball. He'll play it out to his right. Brad was looking for it for Carlson and couldn't connect with him. But here he is now. Otar Carlson takes it himself, and it bounces back into the hands of Nicopolidis.
Well, see, that's a missed opportunity right there. I think Carlson had an opportunity with Formella inside the box, all by himself. Good pressure here. This is where it all starts. Dennis recovers, Carlson gets the ball, and immediately, you know, as a goal scorer, he started to look immediately for the goal. But that time, Formella was wide open on the left side. Unfortunately, they were not able to connect.
The chances have come early here for the Roots. Already have 5 shots, make that 6, and 4 on target.
Yeah, it's a great start. It's a great start. But at some point, you know, when you have so many opportunities early in the game, it gets a little bit frustrating not to put one in the back of the net, and especially facing a team like New York Red Bulls too. You know, they have no pressure tonight, honestly, and so they play freely. So you have to try to capitalize in one of those opportunities early on.
Now that's certainly one of the advantages that Red Bulls 2 have coming into this one. Just do their thing. That's Matt Nocita. I think we'd be remiss as broadcasters if we didn't acknowledge his height, 6'8".
Yeah.
I could jokingly say he's playing the wrong football, but I think he's also pretty tall for that as well.
Well, set pieces, we'll see what he's able to do, right? I mean, that could be really interesting.
Well, that was awkward in its moment, but it worked out in favor of Oakland. Here they come again down the left-hand side. Cross lofted. And how about that control from Rito? Sends it back across. Oh, that moment deserved better.
That's some fancy footwork right there. Beautiful.
So nonchalant about it, too. So we talked about the Phoenix game. Meanwhile, for Red Bulls 2, they lost to Miami FC last Friday, back at home. 7-1, but Jordan Adebayo-Smith scored his team leading 6th goal.
They had an early lead.
They had the lead, yeah.
Yes, unbelievable. They had an early lead, and then they conceded 5 goals in the first half.
So as this ball gets lofted down the pitch and out for an Oakland throw. Nearly 15 minutes into this one, the Roots firing on all cylinders to start, but still 0-0. Meanwhile, a lot of games across the league with implications, of course, for the league as a whole, but in particular for the Oakland Roots, including RGV, who are tied with Oakland in points, currently up 1-0 over Colorado Springs in the 83rd minute. So not the result Oakland's looking for, but I mean, if they get a win here, then they'd stay neck and neck with them.
Right, absolutely. And that's why we were mentioning in the pregame, this is where it all starts for Oakland.
Threaded ball through to Carlson. He plays it back. Excellent exchange, but the touch is too heavy. Now it's Dennis. Gets bumped a little bit as he looked to pass it forward. Now the Red Bulls look to spring something the other way. It's Castellano. They'll play it out wide. Have to hold the ball for a little bit here, New York. Recinos with the pass forward. Felipe gets that one poked away from him, but it will be a corner kick.
Gaining some confidence, Red Bulls too. They have been able to survive the first 15 minutes. So it's going to be very important for Oakland to keep pressing, to continue to have possession and to take the tempo of the game.
This corner kick powered by East Bay Community Energy. East Bay Community Energy providing green power at low rates. Visit ebce.org to find out more. Service comes in, nodded away. But New York can maintain possession here and cycle through once again. The offside flag will keep that from going anywhere. Talking to Noah Delgado about Red Bulls 2, he called them a very dynamic side. As Rito brings this one down in the right channel. Good step, swings it across, the header is not good, but they could put it in again. Here's a shot, and it just bends wide. Another moment for the Roots.
It's again for Mela. Long ball here from Fuenmayor to the right side. Great touch again by Rito. Cuts inside, brings the ball to the back post. There's no header that time. Another chance, plenty of time. This is a great angle. Watch that shot. In the end, a little bit of more, needed to bend a little bit more.
Yeah.
Didn't work that time, but a good effort.
Close but no cigar. Talked earlier about the great attendance here, but it's not just great attendance, so great energy as well.
Absolutely, this feels like a playoff game here, and essentially it is, right? Because it's a must-win for Oakland. It's obviously it doesn't mean elimination if you don't, but. This is a game where they need 3 points.
I mean, with all the respect that we can give New York, they are a bottom of the table team. This is one of those games you have to put away. As the shot scuffles about, and then it's pinged away. Dennis carries it out to the right-hand side to Rito. He connects with Mfeka. Couldn't get that one away. It'll be a throw. They have the athletic ability to punish you on a moment's notice, so we have to be careful and play clean. That was the message we got from the head coach for the Roots coming into this one about Red Bulls 2. Talked a little bit about Jordan Adebayo-Smith, who is one of those guys who can punish you. His goal against Miami FC, his 10th career USL Championship goal. was nearly a moment there, but not without a little bit of grabbing and shirt tugging.
Yeah, that's something that you want to stay away from if you are Oakland, especially in the back line. Barber, Fumayor, or Morad. You know, there's not a lot of pressure from Red Bulls.
And they tried to pull a fast one here, but it's pinged out for a corner kick. This corner kick powered by East Bay Community Energy. East Bay Community Energy is providing green power at low rates. Visit ebce.org to find out more. Dennis with the service, and it's headed over the crossbar. Roots fans, Roots' last home game is Saturday, October 1st at 7 p.m. at Laney Field versus Birmingham Legion. Limited number of tickets are available. Call 510-488-1144 or visit oaklandrootssc.com/tickets for more information. So that leads into a point earlier about how you've got to find results. This is the penultimate home game.
Right. Yeah, listen, I think you have to get 6 points out of the last 2 games at home.
Yeah.
Obviously, Birmingham is a very tough side.
Felipe plays it over to Adebayo Smith.
Birmingham most likely will be in the playoffs. As a matter of fact, I think they have already qualified in the playoffs. And so, you know, they're going to want to carry some momentum into the playoffs. So Birmingham should be a very tough opponent.
Plaza, play it back, and they'll send it back to their back line. Got to be careful, though. Oakland is not shying away from pressing. Here they come. That was a hopeful ball forward, and we'll roll out for a goal kick.
If you're Red Bulls too, right now you feel just okay. I mean, you haven't been able to survive the first 20 minutes. I am 100% sure they are enjoying the atmosphere. They are playing on the road, but this is not something that they're used to.
Right.
Even their home matches, they don't have that big a crowd. So you take the challenge as a player as well. And so they must be enjoying it. And let me tell you, if Oakland is not able to score, they have the right to continue to believe that they can actually win this game in a counter-attack opportunity. And so that's why it's so important for Oakland to score as quickly as possible.
Nearly a chance to there, but sniffing out danger was Giannis Nikopolidis. And it's worth noting, on top of all the factors you accounted for how valuable this is for New York, also just traveling out west, jumping several time zones.
Right.
That's also a very valuable experience to have. You know, the MLS side is doing it all the time, so might as well start getting acclimated to it. As we continue to give you score updates throughout the day, I figured picking Noah Delgado's brain on how much he peaks at the table throughout the season, and especially now. And he said, look, it's not that much different now than it has always been. It's human nature to be curious, but we're watching all of our opponents anyway and keeping tabs on scores. And when we have a night off and the game is on, we're going to tune in and watch with some interest.
And I love that answer because, you know, he's 100% right. It's human nature.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all do it. I mean, we have a game to call, and we immediately go and watch the schedule, and we want to predict what's going to happen and what 3 points mean for each and every single team in the league this weekend. So, to me, that's the beauty of league play as well towards the end of the year. I really enjoy it, and I'm glad to hear that a coach, it's honest enough to admit it, because I know some other coaches will not like to admit and will like to go with the game-by-game mentality, which to me, it would be really, really hard to do.
We're just focused on 3 points.
Yeah.
We're just focused on 3 points.
Yes.
Which, of course, is the utmost priority, but you can still have your interests about the other goings and whether the road's going to be easier and harder for you.
Yeah, and listen, especially if you know as the coaching staff, there's no harm in that, really. I mean, it doesn't really mean that you're not going to prepare the right way for the match that you're about to play. But, you know, it was just, I really enjoyed that answer.
This one will bounce out harmlessly for a goal kick. Giannis Nikopolidis, the Greek goalkeeper. Take this one back over to his spot to redistribute. Well, ever since I mentioned the 4 shots on target for Oakland Roots, they haven't had another one. New York growing into this game a little bit, but here's Rito. And in essence there, going in and drawing the foul. Castellano just stepping in the way of a barreling Rito.
It's just too strong. He's able to recover the ball here easily. And then, you know, just the way Castellanos was able to position in front of him, that was the right play without even touching the ball. Rito was overly aggressive, and a good call from the referee.
All the way down the other side, Adebayo Smith. Not too far off from that one. Here's Plaza. Getting ushered into a corner. Effectively just defended away from goal. Here they come again, Castellano. To the left, it's a good pass, but it wasn't quite collected. That was a promising moment for Red Bulls too.
Man, that's a beautiful feed. Bad touch from Eddie Cariz prevented him from creating a clear chance that time.
Feka tripping up on the ball itself. A moment mistake on the Oakland Root side of things. Could have led to something promising.
Mark, I think Oakland needs to get back to the possession game.
Adebayo Smith couldn't get by the keeper. Paul Blanchette smelled danger, and he was right to do so.
And all of a sudden, back-to-back opportunities for Red Bulls 2 here. So the first one out of the build-up, and here, a long ball. And we talked about Adebayo Smith and how quickly he can turn things around for Red Bulls 2. I think he showed that. Great play from Paul Blanchette.
Worth noting, Jordan Adebayo Smith from Colton, California, so back on his coast, his time zone.
Right, yeah. He must be really, really comfortable here.
Mullings will throw this one in. And then after a chunky challenge from Charlie Dennis, it'll be a free kick for the Red Bulls too. So putting this in will be Yostin Salinas. Made his Red Bulls 2 debut last time out. He played all 90 minutes after being loaned over to Costa Rica. And that one will bounce out without any promise for Red Bulls 2. Memberships for the 2023 Roots season are now available. Secure your membership today and receive exclusive benefits like early entry on game days and discounts on Roots merchandise. Call 510-488-1144 or visit oaklandrootssc.com/tickets for more. Looks like Rito slow to get up, and now we've got some extracurriculars after the whistle. And our head official, Melvin Rivas, making sure everything stays nice and peaceful here.
There's the 1v1 battle. It's Castellano and Rito.
I'm not exactly sure where Rito got hit in the face. It might have been on that last left hand.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's exactly what happens right there. The foul, I think, you know, it's about also standing right in front of him and blocking Brito as he wants to move forward. You can shield the ball, but you just cannot block the attacking player.
There's a pocket of space on the right-hand side. Making a move there. Winning the throw-in. Savante Mullings. He'll get it right back. Provide a service into the middle. It's a little 1-2. Here's Red Bull 2 again. With a promising moment here. Could take a shot. Instead, it slipped through. The defender sliding and defending that away.
And this is a wake-up call for Oakland Roots because confidence is coming back for Red Bulls 2. Surrounded by players in the middle, still able to move the ball looking for Adebayo Smith. A great recovery from Mfeka.
So it'll be a corner kick for New York Red Bulls 2. Service comes in and gets headed away immediately. That run from Jesus Castellano making that happen for Red Bulls 2. But Steven Plaza couldn't quite put it away. As a look at Ibrahim Sakaya. The interim head coach, but has 2 of the 3 wins that the club has collected this season. And after 30 minutes have transpired, despite the early flurry from the Oakland Roots, it is still 0-0. And the young side have really grown into the game.
Absolutely, they're not looking like last place team right now, especially in the last 10 to 15 minutes. They have been able to create opportunities, they have possession. The problem is that they don't have that consistency for the full 90 minutes, and that's why they're standing in last place. It's time for Oakland to win the middle of the field, have some possession, start moving the ball around, and wait for the mistake from this young team to capitalize and get ahead.
This is a game, too, where you want your defensive structure to remain sound. As you've got this young athletic side that can test you in different ways than maybe some other teams can. And when talking to Noah Delgado this week about what their focuses have been in training, he said it's pretty much the same old, just working on our defensive structure, how we handle transition moments, the typical things we've been honing week after week. Rito is able to take on 2 players, make that 3. The 4 is where he meets his match. Castellanos. Been busy in this one. Lots of careless giveaway. Nicopolitis, though, well outside of the penalty area to boot that one from danger. Here they come. This one laid over to the right-hand side, but not before meeting a defender. Formella gives it off, and now it's over to the right-hand side to Rito. Rito plays it forward. It's Rito again after jockeying with it for a moment. Castellanos. Mazakar. Into the 18, but doesn't get very far. Now cross swings inside. No one's there for it, but then it falls to the feet of Mfeka. They're trying to recreate their goal from last weekend. Mfeka got tripped up, though. Jose, this looked almost exactly like that second goal.
Absolutely, and well, it's a good no call from the referee, let me tell you that. The idea was right, and that's exactly what they needed to do to win those 2v2 that time in the edge of the box. Unfortunately for Oakland, it seems like Mfeka loses his footing there.
Plaza over in the left channel. Is able to get into the 18. This squared pass doesn't reach its target. But Red Bulls too, inching closer and closer. And they can't do that. Car in the challenge there, and Yostin Salinas is still down and clutching his right ankle. Here's a look at that challenge again.
50-50 ball at that point. But Socrates just a second too late. And maybe, you know, the reason why he gets called for the foul is that he's coming from behind.
Yeah.
That's probably, you know, the judgment, the line of judgment for the referee.
Yostin Salinas, just his second Red Bull 2 appearance. Loaned from Sporting Football Club in early August, of course, which is the Costa Rican First Division club. He had 40 appearances for that side before making his way up to New York. So Azakar will walk over to the sideline where he'll look to be waved back onto this game. Salinas will be a little bit more in question. A little bit more a hobble to his step. Politas push this one back into play. This one headed down, but in no intended direction. At least no one in the vicinity for Red Bulls 2. Rito out to Mfeka. He finds some space. Mfeka takes the shot, it's saved. Nico Politas gets both hands behind that one.
And what a shot from Mfeka. You can tell he wants to carry on that momentum from the Phoenix Rising game. Gets the ball from Rito, cuts inside. The Resinos looking at him, but unable to get to him. Left-footed strike here. Great save as well.
Had a little knuckle on it.
Yep, a lot of movement on that ball.
Reigning title holders visit in-state rivals as the USL on ESPN2 continues. Orange County SC looks for a late season surge against Sacramento Republic FC Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Talking about the Western playoff race, Orange County just scraping from the bottom of the barrel trying to find results. So crazy to think about the fact that unless something miraculous happens postseason-wise, we're not going to see the reigning title holders be playing in it.
Yeah, and you know, it's looking really, really challenging as well for Phoenix Rising, another one of the top teams in the league for the last few years. So, you know, the competition in the West is really something this year.
Yes. There's Eduardo Rito. He draws the foul there. Worth noting, Eduardo Rito spent the 2019-2020 season with Red Bull 2 at 34 appearances and 2 goals. So I know Red Bull 2 has churned out some products. Rito, another success story in that regard.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, Rito is one of the top players for Oakland this year. And there's a lot of upside for the Venezuelan.
Worth noting, it went final between RGV and Colorado Springs. 1-0 the result. So they're now sitting at 39 points. In essence, saying, your move, Oakland. Of course, Oakland, it's not a two-man race. There's quite a few, a few horses.
Yeah.
Two players going down there on that left flank, and there'll be a free kick for Red Bulls too. Yostin Salinas doing the work there.
Those are some pretty good seats, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, right?
I do know some people that like to get a little higher up, just have a better vantage point. But my thought is, if you're at the game, you want to be as close to the game as possible.
Right. You get to listen to the players, and yeah, you need to really understand the game if you're going to be that close to the field. If you want to go a little bit higher to try to get a little bit of knowledge of how teams are playing tactically, but you know, if you want to get reactions, if you want to really feel like you're a part of the game, it doesn't get any better than that.
I'll say my thought is, if you want to have the best view to see all the player movement, then just tune in on ESPN Plus and watch there.
Right. Yes.
You only get but so many chances to get that in-game experience. Red Bull 2 player down over there by the billboard. Steven Plaza, just his 4th appearance, his 2nd start with Red Bull 2. One given away. While rolling across the 18 into the hands of Paul Blanchette. He's grown really confident, according to Noah Delgado. Getting that game time. And of course, when you're confident, that improves your play on the pitch. As Rito on the other side of things just tips that one forward, nearly connecting with Carlson.
Man, in a matter of seconds, the combination between Enfeka and Rito basically took the ball from one side of the field to the other. It was like, you know, a period of 5 to 10 seconds and running up and down the field. It's incredible to watch.
At a moment's notice, they can conjure up an attack. They just got that speed and wherewithal. Not a lot of time left here in the first half. We'll touch a couple bases at halftime, so make sure you leave your screen or phone on the ESPN Plus broadcast and stay tuned in and locked in. Rito plays to that right-hand corner, where Dennis will have it deflected out for a corner kick. Well, Roots are running out of time to find a lead before going into halftime. 10 shots, 5 of them on target. Dennis will look to provide the service. Low driving ball. Enfeka will put it back in, headed away. It's got to be Matt Nocido who nodded that one away. Dennis back inside. That'll Be blasted out once again for a Roots throw. Switch play once again, but just grazing the head of Racinos. And Feka couldn't get that one through. You know, sometimes you can overemphasize on teams growing in confidence and getting into games and stuff like that. But I think when it comes to Red Bulls too, it's certainly a factor. I mean, you look at some of the ages on this side that are starting. 17, 17. Nathan Worth is 15.
Yep.
Like, these are guys that, yeah, growing confidence is very much a part of the game, especially when you're going against such, I mean, accomplished players. I mean, Otar Karlsson's coming from Venezia.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's the top level right there. And yeah, I think for Red Bulls, it's a very good half so far. They still have over a minute, but I think they should feel very comfortable in the game coming into the second half.
And Feka nearly 180s and sends that one towards the 18. As you see there, 2 minutes of added time. 30 of those seconds have already transpired. Tarek Murad on the ball now, waiting to throw this one in. Barbier back to Murad. Dennis pops it over to that left corner. And that one, much too high. Just didn't quite hit that one the way that he was looking for. And Asakar will take full ownership of it. Politis lost this one across half field. Karlsson sets Rito free, but he has to track out the ball. Rito sends it down the middle. It's well defended. We're approaching 47 minutes. So we've hit the 2 minutes of allotted time. And cue the whistle. After 45 plus 2 minutes of action, despite the shot and shot on target disparity, it's goose eggs on the scoreboard between Red Bulls 2 and the Roots.
I think it's a good half for Red Bulls 2, although for Oakland Roots it's time to regroup, to think about what you need to do to recover the ball a little bit quicker and just to be a little bit more effective in the finishing third. A lot of work to be done for both sides, but especially for Oakland Roots, as they need 3 points tonight here at home.
Nervy start to the game, but they grew into the game, Red Bulls 2. We'll see what happens in the second half, but first, we've got halftime content coming your way. Your halftime score brought to you by Anthem Brew Cross, 0-0. We'll step aside for a moment. When we come back, we'll touch base on what is coming up for these two teams. We'll see you then.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together.
1, 2, 3, party!
That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, improved physical and mental health through coaching clinics and mental health panels, and spoke out for social justice. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandrootssc.com/anthem.
So what if Jenny has a new car that plugs in like a vacuum? You have you. Yeah, you. You create your own karma. You, who endured this to save on rent. You, who upcycled your prom suit for your first job interview and still nailed it. You, who went the extra mile to earn extra cash. Now you have Credit Karma, the money app where your hard work can pay off with a new credit card, a new home, or even a new car. Wait till Jenny sees this. Whoa there. Create your own karma with Credit Karma.
I need to try it first.
It says Julie is waiting with my order. I'm just gonna go in.
We've got to work on the tracking. Oh, good luck.
Take the entire journey with your customer with user testing.
So, was the baguette fresh?
It was spicy.
And the ghost pepper rev?
Empty.
Keep ingredients separate? Here.
Get a taste of your customer's world with user testing.
Halftime brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. 0-0 after 45 minutes of action here between the Oakland Roots and New York Red Bulls 2. Mark Schoenster alongside me, Jose Rodriguez. Let's take a look at what these two teams have got coming up on their schedule, starting with the Roots. They've got to find results, and they've got some tough games coming up.
Well, not an easy schedule at all. Think about it. Colorado Springs, Switchbacks, a playoff team. Birmingham Legion, a playoff team. Hartford Athletic, not a playoff team, but under Tab Ramos, they are starting to turn things around, and they are winning games. How about Pittsburgh as well? Another playoff team. So, if Oakland Roots, if they find a way to get in the playoffs, let me tell you, they will be ready to compete in the most important time of the season.
Yeah, as we look over at the New York Red Bulls 2 upcoming schedule, there are reasons to be excited for some of these games, especially some of these road trips to tough environments like Wild Horse Pass and, of course, down in Tampa Bay.
Well, yeah, I think, this. If you really look at the schedule right here for Red Bulls 2, they have an opportunity against Phoenix Rising to play spoiler, right? Because Detroit City is basically qualified. Same scenario for Memphis and the Rowdies, although the Rowdies might be, fighting for first place or second place in the East. Same scenario for Memphis. So, it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve for Red Bulls 2, and they have 4 games to go.
Yeah, and as young as this lineup is today starting, I imagine we'll see similar lineups for those games coming up. But that's it for this segment of the Anthem Blue Cross halftime show. When we come back, we'll talk about the news and notes around the league and some other talking points here on ESPN+. We'll see you then.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
trying to take down their rival. The legend has done it again here in Sacramento. He's turned the whole game around.
It's a goal for Orange County SC and their first of the season.
And that's full time. The old guard with a new trophy. Orange County wins the USL Championship final.
If Mark, Mr. Cartoon Machado, didn't have the fighting spirit to draw out his passion, he never would have turned chrome into a canvas. If he let a lack of tools stop him, he never would have started tattooing using a homemade machine. And if he listened to those who said you need an art degree, he never would have perfected the street look that made him a street legend. That's the fighting spirit. That's what makes a lion. Modelo, root for those with a fighting spirit.
Unbelievable! What a goal! What a moment! The ultimate upset when it mattered the most!
As we welcome you back here to halftime, brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. The USL Championship playoffs presented by Hisense are coming up here. Oakland Roots are in the midst of the race. As we take a look now at the news and notes from around the league, it's gonna be, I mean, look, that's what all the talk is about, is this playoff push. And it's gonna be massive, Jose.
Well, 5 of 7 in the East are already with the ticket to the playoffs in hand. Now, similar scenario will go through the West, although the West is a lot tighter. If you look at the standings in the West, it's hard to predict who's going to make it, but the East a little bit of a clearer picture. And obviously the championship date confirmed. The USL Championship playoffs, by the way, are presented by Hisense, will begin October 21st. Can you believe it?
Yes.
We're already talking about the playoffs.
It's already here. I mean, it's practically here. I mean, under or nearly a month away at this point in time. The season ends on the 15th. As we were talking about the implications and about who's going to make the playoffs, well, we got to take a look at the scores, and we'll look at those out-of-town scores, which are brought to you by Visit Oakland. Get out on the town and visit Oakland to explore arts, culture, and world-class cuisine. Well, Jose, obviously so many of these games have a big implication, but I want to put focus to that top left corner. You mentioned Hartford Athletic earlier, but you didn't talk about who they beat.
Right, absolutely. A huge result for Las Vegas, and you know, it's unfortunate for them because they have been holding to a playoff spot for a while now, but that result puts them down to 9th place. So it's a big win for Hartford, again under Tab Ramos, trying to turn things around. But for Las Vegas, man, that's a result that it's going to hurt them.
Rio Grande Valley FC also getting the win. They're the ones who have hopped the lights. Also worth noting, Monterey Bay up 2 goals at halftime, so they have, in essence, also hopped Las Vegas lights in that regard. Let's take a look at the schedule for some of the big games going up on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. There they are. Sac Republic and Orange County, the one we were talking about in the first half, and a couple of other great fixtures between Tampa Bay, El Paso, and Louisville City and Memphis 901. But let's pivot now over to the team of the week, and of course featuring on that one, Lindo Mfeka, after his brace at Wild Horse Pass, also completed 11 of 15 passes in that one.
Yep. Listen, this is a quality team of the week right here. Obviously, Fuenmayor is in there, and deservedly so. But look at Joaquin Rivas as well, getting the opportunity to score against Red Bulls 2 in that 7-1 win for Miami FC. Solid player for the South Florida team. And Rodriguez as well, you know, another player from Detroit. They're usually a solid player in the middle of the field.
Well, we have one more segment of the Anthem Blue Cross halftime show coming up on the other side. It's the highlights and the stats. Then we'll give you the second half kickoff right here on ESPN+.
So what if Jenny has a new car that plugs in like a vacuum? You have you. Yeah, you. You create your own karma. You, who endured this to save on rent. You, who upcycled your prom suit for your first job interview and still nailed it. You, who went the extra mile to earn extra cash. Now you have Credit Karma, the money app where your hard work can pay off with a new credit card, a new home, or even a new car. And wait till Jenny sees this. Whoa there. Create your own karma with Credit Karma.
We are driven by a purpose to build healthy communities where everyone deserves a shot at fulfilling their dreams. A place where inclusion, acceptance, and equal opportunity are the norm. A town where all people have access to nutritious food, healthy lifestyles, and quality healthcare. Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots are breaking down barriers to ensure people stay nourished of the mind, body, and soul, all while having every opportunity to succeed. We welcome Oakland Soul to the town. Together, we will make the East Bay better for everyone.
When we think about the benefits of East Bay Community Energy, we think about cleaner air, good jobs, lower costs.
Good morning, welcome everyone.
The Scott Haggerty Wind Energy Center gives us a tangible example of how clean energy can deliver local benefits.
There is something wonderful about being part of this historic moment.
We are delivering cleaner, greener, cheaper energy. It's an investment in our future.
You're sharing our vision of providing power for Alameda County residents.
Tonight's USL Championship match is presented in part by Anthem Blue Cross. User testing, Credit Karma, UCSF Health, Coca-Cola, and Modelo. As we welcome you back here, let's take a look at the highlights brought to you by UCSF Health. Starting in the 9th minute, you know early on in this game, there were a lot of chances here for the Oakland Roots. Mark Schoenster alongside me, Jose Rodriguez. But as we know, none of these are going to go in.
Yep, it was a very good start in terms of, having possession and create opportunities inside the box. Here's the first one, a shot from Lindo Enfeka, as you all know. He comes after scoring 2 goals against Phoenix Rising. Very good performance for him in the first half, unable to score so far. Here, a great read from Paul Blanchett. Adebayo Smith chasing that ball, but quicker to the ball was the veteran goalkeeper. Another opportunity, Castellano from the middle, and again looking for Adebayo Smith, but a great recovery this time from Enfeka, working as well on the defensive side of the ball. The striker, 38th minute, Rito with the ball on the right side, looking to push the ball through. Waits and waits and waits for the right movement. Enfeka, if decides to stay, still he's able to get the ball, takes the right footed shot, plenty of movement on that ball. A good save as well from the young goalkeeper for Red Bulls too. And here are the stats for the first 45 minutes, Mark. 63% possession. Wow.
Incredible. These stats brought to you by Puma. Also worth noting, Nicopolidis with 5 saves in the first half, which is the most he's had since an 8-save performance back in late August, so he's on pace to break his career high in that regard if this keeps up. Also worth noting, the Roots average 4.3 shots on target per match. They've already got 5 of them, so just some fun numbers crunched thrown your way as we look to get this one going in the second half of action. So 1 substitution to account for. Racinos comes out, and in his place, Curtis Ofori. So they're going from the 17-year-old to the 16-year-old, but the 16-year-old with 22 games of experience already this season.
Yeah, those 22 games can make a difference at this point for both players, actually.
Mazakar will play it back. Once again, my name is Mark Schoenster, alongside me, Jose Rodriguez. An important game for Oakland. That's not saying much, because every single one of them is important at this point for them. And you can even argue every game's important, so if you want me to use a different word, crucial.
Yeah, I think it's crucial. Oakland, I really like what they were able to do in the first 15 to 20 minutes of the game. But, I think we have to give credit as well to Red Bulls too, because they were able to recover right after that. And unfortunately for Oakland, they went through a rough stretch in the end of the first half. Now they need to regroup and get back to having possession and creating opportunities.
We'll see how well they do so after talks in the dressing room. Let's see if those adjustments and some renewed energy can push them forward, or if Red Bulls 2 will continue to carry the momentum they were picking up with at the end of the first half. There's only one way to find out for certain. Hernandez going to play it over to the right-hand side. A trio of players over there for Oakland. foul will result in the whistle from Melvin Rivas, our head official. It's a nice night in Oakland for the beautiful game. 62 degrees as of right now. Not cold enough to be cold, but it's cool enough that you're running and you're not feeling oppressed by the heat.
That's freezing for me. Central American guy here, so that's freezing.
I guess it's a subjective thing. That service headed away, and then looked like Carlson tried to make the most of it with his heel, but yeah, worth a shot. That will slowly roll out of play. And it'll be Nikopolidis.
So how about RGV? Now, looking at the live standings right now, they're sitting in 7th place. They are in a playoff spot as of right now. Obviously, they were able to get 3 points tonight against Colorado Springs.
That's a big result, too.
That's a big, big, big result for them. So they're sitting on 39 points after 20 matches played.
They've effectively said your move, Monterey, and your move, Oakland, in that regard, getting the win. Monterey Bay filling out their end of the bargain, still up 2-0 over Indy 11, which also has implications on the Eastern Conference standings.
Right. If that result holds, Miami FC is officially in the playoffs.
And I believe so is Detroit City. And I think that has to be an Indy 11 victory on top of that in order for things to still be in question.
Right.
So they would need to score 3 goals here in the second half to keep Eastern Conference questions up in the air, at least as far as who is attending the USL Championship playoffs presented by Hisense. Long ball all the way down the pitch to Carlson. And he doesn't quite collect it. Salinas is able to swing his boot in there and knock it away.
San Diego and Phoenix is scoreless at the half. It's a must win as well for Phoenix Rising.
Now we're talking about these teams that are either neck and neck with Oakland or a point ahead as that ball pops forward. Azakar maybe was trying to fish for a corner kick there, but the ball did not ping in his preferred direction. And Plaza couldn't corral that one in. Yeah, but as I was saying, we're talking about the teams that are equal to points and perhaps a point or two ahead. Phoenix Rising right behind, but the 6-pointer last week went in Oakland's favor, really puts Rising in a bad spot in that regard. See Red Bulls 2's first foray, trying to attack this back line. It doesn't last very long, or at least that's what I was saying. They're able to reclaim possession. Now Azakar. Check that, that's Formella. And that one we booted out for a throw. Oakland Roots Sports Club welcomes their women's team, Oakland Soul. Oakland Soul, a USL W League team, and they're now accepting membership deposits. Place your deposit at oaklandsoulsc.com. W League had its first season this year. What an exciting final that was. I'm sure the Oakland Soul will provide another great atmosphere in that league. Carlson veering around one defender, plays it across the middle. Went off the woodwork and out for a goal kick.
Obviously a very dangerous player inside the box is Carlson. He gets plenty of room. He can really hurt you. When he tries to create room, it's equally as dangerous, and that's exactly what he's able to do that time. He looks immediately to score as he moves past the defender.
Well, if you wanted to place your bets on who you would think was going to score in this game for Oakland, Otar Carlson, obviously, empirically, is your best bet.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Here they come again. Into the 18 they go. Formella couldn't get the shot off. And Feka tried to follow up behind, but it got cleared away first. So here's another spurt growing for the Oakland Roots. And they make better of it than they did in the first half.
It's important to remember, Mark, if you're Oakland Roots, you only have to win the game. It doesn't really matter that Red Bulls 2 is near the bottom of the table in the East, and sometimes you might feel the compromise of scoring more goals.
Here's Infeka, gets it by the keeper, and Carlson doesn't get it in!
Oh my God!
What a tackle! The goal with a gaping mouth open. Last-ditch defending prevents the goal for Oakland Roots.
And what a beautiful setup. It all starts in the middle with Formella. Memo gets the ball, pushes the ball to our right side, and it's unbelievable.
Matt Nocita, the 22-year-old defender mentioned earlier, 6'8", using those long legs to his advantage.
We're thinking set pieces. We were wrong.
He's just a player.
Right? Wow. These are the moments, Mark, that can turn a season around. Wow.
Dennis puts in the service. And it's bodied away. Dennis again. Floats another one in. And that one more off the mark than his corner kick. Just a fantastic effort from Nocita.
It's a great effort. It's a great play as well. Beautiful build-up. You start on the left side, move on to the right side. Carlson is right there, but the timing defensively from Nocita is just unbelievable.
Played at the U.S. Naval Academy before being the 7th overall pick in the 2022 MLS Super Draft. Well, now you can see a little bit why. It's not just about his frame. That's a push on the back.
It's time for Oakland to keep pushing. Yeah, you were very close. You need that goal. You need that goal. 1-0 will do tonight. It's about getting 3 points and getting closer to the playoff line. Still have 35 minutes to go here. So plenty of time. Stay patient. And wait for the opportunity inside the box.
Hey, can't let that shake you. Azakar. See if he can work on this defender. Gets by him. In the 18 he goes. Azakar still going to the top of the 18. Tapped back out. Hernandez to the right to the Mefeka. He's unable to corral that ball in and keep it intact. Things have certainly turned up here. And that one will be headed away. Red Bulls 2 back to hanging on mode in their 4th match at club history on the West Coast. It's their 3rd since the beginning of the 2021 season. They're 0-2-1 in those matches out here on this side of the country. There's Dennis making his way forward. Plays it to Infeka. Infeka holds it. Still with it now. Fires the shot. It skips into the hands of Nicopolidis. You're almost thinking he could have done better there.
And another opportunity which got me really thinking, you know, is this one of those nights where you keep trying and trying? You can play basically 2 matches on the same night and still you're not going to be able to score? It's unbelievable the way they have been able to create opportunities. And yet when they try to finish, they're either lacking the quality in the last pass or not taking the right shots, but something's going on. Hopefully, you know, they can continue to put pressure on Red Bulls too, and in the end find that goal.
Mullings gets that one knocked away. That'll be a goal kick. Becca, the last one to take a shot. That's now 7 on target for the Roots. Becca, of course, had that brace in the last game, and Noah Delgado called it one of the league's most talented players. And he's just been fighting injury issues this year, so he wasn't surprised by Mfeka's performance in that one, and gave his utmost confidence in Mfeka when we had the chance to talk to him about his contributions in that last game and his contributions moving forward. So a lot of time in this one for Mfeka to make up that shot. Here's Mullings. The entry pass into the 18. And then Azakar's down.
That's so good. That's so good. That's the picture, man.
He's just curled up. See if we can get a look at the collision here.
Those really, really hurt. Let me tell you. Woo.
So he's able to walk off. That's one where the impact is just infuriatingly painful.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the extreme version of stubbing your toe.
Yeah, well, even thinking about it, it makes me... I really don't want to think about it, Mark. Come on.
Hey, look, there's a soccer game happening. That ball somehow kept in play, and then a foul drawn. Be a free kick for Red Bulls too. Felipe, the only one behind the ball as of this moment. The Oakland chants have not died out, despite the fact their side have not been able to find the back of the net. Granted, due to some heavy efforts from their opposition, admirable efforts. That is not a bad lofted ball. It will fall into the hands of Paul Blanchette. Little nutmeg there. No biggie. Fuenmayor. These are moments they got to be careful as they're passing this ball around their back line. And roll all the way across to the other side.
Monterrey has extended the lead, by the way, 4-0 over Indy.
One team getting the job done tonight.
Well, it's fair to say they're going to get 3 points tonight.
Very much putting an end to the Eastern Conference conversation, at least about who's going to the party, but now it'll be about where they're going.
Right, which is very important as well.
The offside flag will go up and prevent that from going anywhere. Roots fans, get your Fam 4-pack available starting at $80 for 4 ticks and 4 drinks. Call 510-488-1144 or visit oaklandrootssc.com/tickets for more information. that's going to be looked at as both a positive and a negative for Red Bulls 2 this season. And ultimately, I know they view it as a positive given their goals and aspirations. They've done well to churn out talent. We've already touched on Eduardo Rito. But just this season alone, 6 players from the 2 team have signed with the first team. 2 others have also signed with other clubs elsewhere. So even if they haven't had the league success, they're still having the success of churning out academy products and helping not only their MLS team, but also just providing players out into the soccer world.
Right, and listen, for this group in particular, this is an important result right now because of what happened last week, right? So they have been able to turn things around, a completely different performance. And you're talking about that game against Miami FC, they play at home, and they conceded 7 goals. So this is completely different, and I think this aligns with the idea the organization has as a whole for this team.
Ball from that right-hand side from Mbeka again, but it goes straight into the hands of Nikopolidis. Good exchange there. Down this left-hand side. Switch it over to the right hand. Adebayo Smith can keep it in play. Not quite. I'll go out for a goal kick. San Diego scored against Phoenix as well.
Well, that's not good news for Phoenix Rising. That's you know, it's a tough task to win against San Diego, but at this point for Phoenix Rising, with the struggles from earlier in the season, they basically have to win every single game.
They can thank Oakland partially for that.
Yeah,
absolutely. Last week.
Yes.
It's also worth noting Oakland last time they played San Diego were able to get a win, which is massive in their aspirations.
Right. Yeah. Just need a goal in the next 25 minutes to keep the momentum going.
Cannot get behind the pack. That's Curtis Ofori, subbed on here in the second half. So he'll go over to midfield and wait to be waved back onto the game by our head official, Melvin Rivas. Fans keeping up the energy. They've had a lot of excitement to see, but it hasn't resulted in celebration as of yet.
You can tell they just can't wait for that first goal. Yeah.
With eager anticipation. But will they ever get the payoff? That remains to be seen. Meanwhile, Red Bulls 2 going the other way. Rest gonna play on there. Looked to me like a clear shove in the back.
Yeah, it looked like a push. There's no doubt.
The action will continue to go forth. Mullings with it now. Now Mbeka wins it for the Roots. Trying to find Carlson. We'll get headed back to Nikopolidis. Wait for Carlson to come right up in front of it before picking it up. And continuing on. Well, Jose, one thing that I remember you talking to Coach about, Coach Noah Delgado, to be more specific, is about how late in the season, everybody's not at 100% physically.
Right.
But talking about the mental aspect of the game and staying sharp, and I thought that was a very interesting conversation with Noah about how the players are doing in that regard. But before we break into that, we do have a substitution to take place. This substitution powered by East Bay Community Energy. East Bay Community Energy is providing green power at low rates. Visit ebce.org to find out more. Mikael Janssen coming in for Mella.
Janssen, a starter for the most part earlier in the season. You remember the days of Janssen, Carlson, and Dennis at the top for this team, and they were very successful. So this is a luxury of a sub, having Johnson available in the second half. He's a player that will have an impact without a doubt. We'll see if he's the difference maker in the last 20 minutes or so.
We're going to be that impact substitution. Here's Mulling. Plays it across. Catching it is Planchette, who hasn't had to register a save yet in the game. I would say the 0 shots and 0 on target for New York Red Bulls 2 is a little bit misleading if you are just trying to judge this game based on the stat line. They've had some moments, and now Becca coming down the other way. Lindo and Becca with some time to make a decision. Janssen looking to shoot. He takes the shot, and he just goes wide. Coming into the game and looking to get on the score sheet.
Man, I think we all saw that ball going in.
Yeah, I mean, that was
the
close.
angle. It's you know, it's a great build-up because it seems like a counter-attack, but it's a build-up play. Man, that's close. Beautiful shot here. Take a look. Whoa. Wow, Johnson. And that's what we expect from him. He has that quality. And, you know, it's really interesting with him not getting the start, how eager he is to get on the field and get those opportunities. He's not going to get a full 90 or 60 or 70 minutes, but he's ready to contribute if he's getting 20, 23 minutes.
You could tell he was chomping at the bit to just stick his laces through it and get one going. Perhaps he's the answer to the conundrum of scoring goals here tonight. Adebayo Smith gets that one knocked away. And that one will go out. And we've got a corner kick coming up. Take their time. I know we were talking about how Matt Nocia does more than just maybe a set piece target, but it is a set piece, and you've got someone who's 6'8" who can saunter his way up.
Yep. Yeah. That's your target.
They'll play it short. Castellano. Nope. There's some pushing, and it's going to be a free kick for Oakland after some pushing inside the 18. But as I said earlier, before we were interrupted by a couple of great chances, Jose, at this point in the season, I think everyone focuses on, and rightfully so, just the physical standing of every player as you get into that final stretch of the season. But the mental portion of the game is equally as important, especially when it comes to games like this, where it's not just bouncing your way quite right.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, the next 20 minutes for Oakland, it's not so much about what they can do physically, but mentally how they can keep that composure to get that goal.
Moments like that when you lose the ball, to not get too frustrated. I'm not sure if that was the case there, but just two players battling for the ball, I think it's the best way to put it. How can they handle this frustration? Interesting note for Red Bulls too. Our next game will be against Detroit City. It's their final home match of the season. It's coming up on Wednesday. They will spend all of October on the road. As you saw the schedule at halftime, trips to Tampa, Memphis, Phoenix, Carlson. Plays this one out wide to Rito. Rito sends the cross. And it's just headed upward to disrupt its trajectory. Janssen now on it. He has that swipe from his clutches.
Beautiful.
Tight passes. They're on the same wavelength there.
Well, it seems so simple, you know, but nowadays it's so hard to watch that style of moving the ball quickly in the middle, first touch. Now players like to dribble a lot more. They are faster, they are stronger, but whenever we get to see those ball moving so quickly in the middle, it's just beautiful to watch.
It's Yostin Salinas who's getting tended to. In his national team debut at 20 years old, back in 2018, Salinas. So he has the pedigree, along with, of course, his first division experience in Costa Rica, which is the team he plays for, of course, by the way.
Yep.
He's come in and made some plays tonight here in just his second match as a part of Red Bulls 2. But when it comes to staying mentally into the game, when you have chance going throughout the entire 90 minutes, it makes it a little bit easier to keep your head in the game and stay focused. So it looks like everything's good. Salinas will get waved on here in a moment. And he's back on the pitch as we speak. Here they come the other way. That's a great volley ball headed towards goal. Contorting his body to try to put some juice behind it. Otar Carlson couldn't quite get the heat behind it he needed. Crafty volley though over from Eduardo Rito.
Yeah, it's a beautiful ball from the right side. It's just crazy to me how Carlson wasn't able to finish. A quality striker like him, and he gets a clear opportunity. The defender behind him, he was not able to put the header where he wanted.
Tried to quickly throw this one in. Uh-oh. Playing some keep away here. And Domfeka not too pleased about it. Dennis plays up the pitch to Rito. It's a great ball. Rito still running with it. Rito across the center! And there's the goal they were looking for. They've been knocking for 75 minutes. And of course, it's Otar Carlson with the help of Eduardo Rito, giving Oakland the 1-0 advantage.
And the third time's a charm for Carlson. A great move as well from Rito on the right side, consistent with what he has been able to do throughout the match. Good ball from Dennis into space. Rito takes his time this time, brings the ball in, and there he is, the goal scorer, Carlson, this time, and it's a finish from him from the ground, a slight touch to the back of the net it goes, and it's Oakland with the lead.
16 goals on the season for Otar Carlson. He's in the thick of that Golden Boot race, who's tied for 4th coming into the weekend. And he is now alone in 4th with that goal. And given the fact that we've got a goal, that is a $510 donation to Scraper Bike Team, brought to you by East Bay Community Energy. Scraper Bike Team empowers urban youth living in underserved communities through self-expression and creativity. And they may have another one here. A poor touch gets it pinged back. Still around, looking for another shot, and Carlson sends it over. They just needed that first one.
Yep, absolutely. This is exactly what they needed. You know, it's really hard. It's really challenging to close out a season in USL Championship, and that's exactly what Oakland is trying to do. They want to go in a run. They want to be in the playoffs, and every game is going to be hard and it's going to be competitive, and that has been proven to be right tonight by Red Bulls 2. A great performance from this Eastern Conference team out of the playoffs, but that is coming here to Oakland, and they are coming here to compete, and that's what they have been able to do tonight.
Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN+, the home to the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Rito dashing down that right-hand side with some newfound energy. Places to the top of the 18, Azakar, and he just slices that one. It's assist number 7 on the year for Rito. And now we're gonna get 2 substitutions for the Oakland Roots side. Memo Diaz gonna come in for Azakar, who just airmailed that ball. And then also Choi Enriquez will come in for Mfeka.
Diaz a little bit of more a midfielder, not as offensive oriented as Azúcar, but will play through the middle. Will hold on to the ball a little bit more. Choi Enriquez, yes, an offensive minded player without a doubt. Similar to Mfeka. Looking for counter-attack opportunities. It looks like Noah Delgado is expecting Red Bulls 2 to be a little bit more aggressive in the last 10 minutes. That will leave room behind for Enriquez to attack.
So now it's a matter of just hanging on to this lead, and if you find another one, then good on you. They've been trying for so long in this game. 9 shots on target it took. Their expected goal is 2.18. And although obviously Sub could say that you wanted to come in and thump a team that's at the bottom of the table, but also I think there's some merit to overcoming a little bit of this I guess the equivalent of a writer's block for an offensive unit. And here come Red Bulls 2. Trying to thread that one through the middle. Castellano plays it over to that left-hand side. Another rolling ball, cleared away. That'll be a Red Bulls 2 throw. So as you see there, John Murphy gonna make his way onto the pitch for Steven Plaza. It's Murphy's 27th appearance of the season. From Scotch Plains, New Jersey. Not a guy who's exactly a long-time academy product where he's just played entirely at the academy and is stuck there. He's gone and played for a year at Clemson, also played at Union Omaha last year, the USL League One champions. They did play with Red Bulls 2 back in 2018 as an academy player.
He's James Murphy's youngest brother, by the way.
This could be a moment. Played to the top of the 6. But some handy tackling, preventing that from being a shot on goal, which they've yet to allow yet. I mean, statistically, they haven't allowed a shot either, but I would say that Red Bulls 2 in the first half had moments that were pretty close to being shots if they were not prevented from happening right before they were let loose. Some bodies flying there to try and maintain possession. Red Bulls 2 will get another crack at it. Felipe zips that one through. Flag stays down. Here's a shot saved. That one had a punch pack behind it. And it's Jordan Adebayo-Smith letting it fly. Yeah, who else? Exactly.
I mean, what a quality player he is. Takes his time, knows exactly where his where goal is.
And they're at it again. Here's another quality look. Castellanos across the middle, and it just deflects wide. Red Bulls 2 not hanging up on this game. Great save from Paul Blanchett earlier. They may need him again here. They now have a shot and a shot on target, by the way. Service comes in, graces by everybody. Volleyed effort could go back inside. Doesn't get too far. And that one's lofted all the way across half field. And it'll be out for a throw. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. Offside flag will go up there. The Red Bulls, too, have something up their sleeve before this game ends. Murphy working one-on-one with Memo Diaz, one substitute with another. Diaz able to get the best of him. Carlson taking a lot of tugs there, gets the ball out, and now the whistle will be cued.
Looks like there will be a yellow card.
Worth noting, up to this point, this is our first yellow card of the match.
Yeah,
Salinas now with his second.
It has been a very well played match, let me tell you. I mean, it's been physical, but you know, within the rules, I think this is obviously a good call. But this is more, you know, I think related to how tired Salinas is, and you know, he has been struggling for the last 10 to 15 minutes. And when you're tired, and you know, there's no other resource other than to commit a foul.
And that's what you go to.
Yeah, I think he's exhausted at this point. If I'm Oakland, I'm going to look his way.
Diaz. Switch it right back, where there's a ton of space. Rito rolls this one inside. That one not quite on the mark. But yeah, I mean, we took 85 minutes to get a yellow card, and it wasn't even really a nasty yellow, just more of an exhaustion moment.
Yeah.
I think that goes to show just the kind of game we've had. So we're going to get a corner kick here. Charlie Dennis. Another low ball. Gotta be careful there. Talk about poise. Fuenmayor. Over in that left pocket. Diaz slips up. Mullings still making the run. And Janssen tracking back to help out Diaz after he lost his footing.
Listen, those are the plays that, you know, we might not show them in the highlight reel, but, you know, coaches really like that effort just to run back Johnson, getting a touch on that ball, stopping the counterattack. Those are big moments within the game.
I mean, you had both Diaz and Fuenmayor behind that play at that moment in time. Someone had to pick up the responsibility. Everyone's had their part in this game, and now you can say Blanchett has had his with that save he had a little bit ago. After that point, wasn't required to at least stop a shot coming his way. He's come out of his line and made a clearance or two. We're gonna get a substitution for the Roots. Dennis is coming out for Joseph Nane. Cameroonian midfielder.
Yeah, Nane more a center defensive midfielder. Obviously, Dennis helping out defensively throughout the match, but more offensive oriented, looking to help in the build-up for Nane. And it's clear, the message from Noah Delgado to his players right now, it's, all right, it's time to secure 3 points.
Hold the line.
Yep.
So in comes Nane. His 20th appearance of the year. We were talking earlier about how they were anxiously waiting for the payoff. They finally got it.
Yep. I think, you know, they got it at the right time as well, because, you know, the frustration was starting to build up a little bit.
Can they hang on to it? A hefty challenge there. And here they come the other way. 3 minutes of stoppage time, and it bounces into the hands of Nico Politis. Troy Enriquez making the run there. You gotta be careful on the other end. Some short, light passes there. The Red Bulls, too, weren't able to get through. Time is running out for them to break through and spoil 3 points. That could have been another goal there on the breakaway. Janssen couldn't connect with Carlson. One minute of the 3 has churned through. Janssen making his way down the pitch. Still going with it. Plays it to his right. Enriquez could shoot. He keeps holding it. Enriquez still. Patience is a virtue most of the time. A little bit too much hesitation there from Troy Enriquez. Here's the other end. Red Bulls 2 with a service across. And that one will roll out of bounds. And it looks like it's a foul. So it'll be a free kick from the spot. Blanchette tries to put as much airtime underneath that ball as he possibly can. Perhaps another opportunity here. Carlson has that one grazed away. It'll be an Oakland throw. As of this moment, they sit tied at 39 points with RGV. Behind them in 1 goal in the goal differential department. Roots currently sitting in 8th place as of right now. Very much staying in it. And there's your final whistle. They clawed, they shot, they fired at will. But after 75 minutes, they finally broke through. And the Oakland Roots collect 3 points at home. Another box checked. The race goes on. Jose Rodriguez.
Absolutely. You know, the one thing they needed tonight is to win. It didn't matter if it was by 2, 3, 5, 6, or 10 goals. 1 goal will do. It will mean 3 points, and it will mean that Oakland Roots will stay in the race for the playoffs.
Man of the match presented by Ale Industries. The 2022 Town Beer Collab is now available in select stores and on tap at Ales Industries. And then we'll pivot over to one of our highlights, our save of the game. It's brought to you by Credit Karma. And of course, it's this effort. The shot by Adebayo Smith, the save, of course, by Paul Blanchette.
Yeah, at this point, Oakland already had the lead. And it's Paul Blanchette with the save of the game and probably the save of the week as well, because it's quite an important moment in the match for Oakland Roots as they try to hold on to 3 points here.
That shot practically fizzing off the boot from Jordan Adebayo Smith, but Blanchette up for the challenge. Once again, your score in this one, 1-0 due to a goal in the 76th minute, assisted by Eduardo Rito. With that in mind, we're gonna step aside. Your final score here, brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, or Anthem Blue Cross. Oakland 1, Red Bulls 2. We'll see you on the other side for post-game thoughts.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together.
1, 2, 3, party!
That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, improved physical and mental health through coaching clinics and mental health panels, and spoke out for social justice. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandrootssc.com/anthem.
If Damian Lillard accepted his spot at the end of the bench, he never would have been at the rec center before it opened. If he listened to those who overlooked him, he never would have heard his name called as a first-round pick. And if he let 6 all-star selections go to his head, he never would have had the heart to give back to the streets that shaped him. That's the fighting spirit. That's what makes a lion. Modelo, root for those with a fighting spirit.
Your full-time score brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Oakland Roots 1, New York Red Bulls 2-0. Mark Schoenster alongside me, Jose Rodriguez, for our closing thoughts on this game. As we prepare to look at what happened across the 90 minutes, the fans are happy about the final result, but they had to wait quite a long time as we look at the full-time highlights brought to you by UCSF.
Opportunity, 38th minute here for Oakland Roots. Rito with the ball, looking for Lindo and Feca. He's gonna take a left-footed shot, but a wonderful save from the goalkeeper. A lot of movement on that ball, but just, you know, a lot of anticipation came into this play because Oakland Roots had a lot of opportunities and they were not able to capitalize on them. But we move on to the second half, 52nd minute, And it's Carlson with the move. Inside the box, takes the right-footed shot. But not on target that time for the striker. But he'll get another opportunity. No worries, because Hernandez with the beautiful setup here. Looking for Rito or Enrique, I should say, on the right side. But again, Carlson. But we mentioned during the broadcast, Mark, Nocita, what a play.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic tackle. Literally back against the goal. Made something happen without the keeper there to protect him.
The 69th minute again. And Feka and Janssen just, was it maybe a minute or two? Just after he came into the match and takes the right-footed shot. It's so close. We thought that ball was in. 76th minute, and here's the moment we have been all waiting for. Good ball from Dennis. Rito, plenty of time inside the box. A lot of composure, brings the ball in, and it's Carlson with the final touch into the back of the net. It's 1-0, and that's all Oakland needed tonight against a tough opponent in Red Bulls 2.
Here's a look at the full-time stats presented by Mito Lotto. I mean, you look at the disparity there. It's only 1-0, but like you said prior, it doesn't matter if it's 1-0, 4-0, 2-0, 5-1, whatever the scoreline, it's 3 points, and that was what they wanted to come in for.
Yeah, listen, at this point, Oakland Roots, you're thinking playoffs. And what do you need to get to the playoffs? Not necessarily to score a whole bunch of goals, but to get 3 points in every single game if you can. Well, for tonight, mission accomplished.
Yeah, I mean, if you continue to get 3 points game in after game, your odds of going into the playoffs are going to be pretty high, whether the scorelines are pretty ugly or whatnot. But with that in mind, they sit at 8th place as of right now. Monterey Bay also won, so they keep Monterey Bay, well, at bay, a point behind them in that regard, which makes 3 points oh so crucial. And with that in mind, that's where we'll wrap up here tonight. It was an exciting one. It was exhilarating. Red Bulls 2 put up a good fight. But with that in mind, that's the end of this broadcast on ESPN+. For our entire broadcasting crew, Jose Rodriguez, I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. We thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the USL Championship here right on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.